The economy you see is loud. Prices change, markets rise and fall, headlines scream urgency. But beneath all of it, there is another economy operating quietly, shaping outcomes long before decisions are ever made. Most people never notice it, not because it is hidden, but because it does not announce itself. It works through silence, delay, and restraint. This is the economy you were never meant to understand, the quiet layer. In 2008, while markets collapsed and panic spread across screens, a small group of institutions behaved very differently. They did not rush to sell, did not issue frantic statements, and did not appear on television. They waited. While the public reacted emotionally, these institutions operated from position, not urgency. They understood something most people didn't. Volatility is not chaos. It is opportunity for those who are prepared to remain still. At the same time, millions of individuals made decisions driven by fear. They sold assets at the worst moment, abandoned long-term strategies, and locked in losses they didn't need to take. The visible economy punished them immediately. The invisible economy rewarded patience quietly over years. No announcement was made. No explanation followed. Only outcomes changed. Systems that do not ask permission. Most people believe the economy reacts to human behavior. In reality, human behavior reacts to economic systems that were designed long before any individual choice is made. Interest rates, incentives, credit access, liquidity cycles. These are not neutral forces. They are levers, and those who understand where the levers are placed rarely need to pull them aggressively. Consider how debt operates. To most people, debt is personal. It feels moral, emotional, heavy. But at a systemic level, debt is neither good nor bad. It is a mechanism for time manipulation. Those who control debt structures control future behavior. This is why institutions extend credit calmly while individuals are taught to fear it or misuse it. The system does not punish ignorance. It simply exploits it quietly. The man who didn't compete. There is a story rarely told in public finance circles. A fund manager who never chased growth, never pursued visibility, and never competed for attention. While others fought for quarterly performance, he focused on elimination, eliminating unnecessary exposure, eliminating noise, eliminating short-term incentives that distorted judgment. His returns were not extraordinary year to year, but over decades his capital grew while others disappeared. When asked why he never spoke publicly or expanded aggressively, he gave a simple answer. Visibility attracts interference. The invisible economy rewards those who operate below attention thresholds. His discipline was not flashy. It was structural. And structure compounds, the cost of being seen. Modern culture teaches that visibility equals power. More followers, more exposure, more leverage. But historically, the opposite has often been true. Power consolidates best in silence. The more visible an individual becomes, the more predictable they are. Predictability is expensive. Systems exploit it. The invisible economy favors those who are difficult to model, those who do not announce their next move, those whose discipline is internal rather than performative. When everyone is broadcasting intention, the silent actor gains informational advantage without effort. This is not charisma. It is restraint, control without force. The most effective economic systems do not coerce. They guide. Incentives shape behavior more reliably than rules ever could. When rewards are delayed and consequences are indirect, people internalize the system as reality rather than control. This is why the invisible economy is so stable. It does not feel imposed. It feels natural. Most people assume freedom exists where choice is obvious, but real freedom exists where reaction is minimized. When you no longer respond impulsively to price changes, status signals, or short-term narratives, you step outside the most exploitable layer of the system. Control shifts quietly, the discipline threshold. There is a threshold most people never cross, not because it is inaccessible, but because it is uncomfortable. It requires removing emotional urgency from financial decisions. It requires patience in environments designed to provoke reaction. It requires operating without validation. Those who cross this threshold do not look successful early. They look slow, unimpressive, detached. But over time, the system reveals itself to them differently. Patterns become visible. Cycles become predictable. Outcomes become less surprising. The invisible economy begins to work with them rather than against them. Why this is never taught. If everyone understood the invisible economy, it would stop working. Systems depend on asymmetry. Not everyone needs to be ignorant. Only enough people need to remain reactive. Education focuses on visible mechanisms, budgets, salaries, prices, because these do not threaten structural advantage. Understanding the invisible layer does not require secret knowledge. It requires temperament, the ability to remain calm while others rush, the willingness to delay gratification while others consume, the discipline to stay silent while others announce. These traits cannot be mass-produced without collapsing the system itself. Living outside the noise, to live aligned with the invisible economy, is not to withdraw from society. It is to interact with it selectively, to observe before acting, to reduce exposure rather than increase effort, to build leverage quietly instead of chasing recognition loudly. This is not a strategy for quick outcomes. It is a framework for inevitable ones. Over time, the system reveals who understands it and who is merely reacting to it. The difference is rarely obvious in the beginning, but it becomes undeniable in the end. The economy you never see is not hidden behind locked doors. It is hidden in plain sight, operating through silence, patience, and restraint. Once you recognize it, you cannot unsee it. And once you align with it, you no longer need to compete where everyone else is fighting.